welcome, luminous beings of light. Thank you for joining me here on the SoulFire Alchemist. I'm your host, Beth SoulFire. Thank you for joining me again for another episode of SoulFire Talks. And today I want to talk to you about the Libra new moon happening on Sunday, September 25th, 2022 at 5:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, as always, check your local time, because your time zone could change that. So look to your own time zone to make sure that you have that accuracy, okay? But here in the Eastern Coast, it's 5:55 p.m. Now, if you haven't already watched the episode from last week that I did when it came to the full moon in Pisces on the 10th of September, and yes, that was the last full moon of summer, y'all, because this moon, the Libra new moon, coming up on the 25th, is the first new moon of the fall. So, heading into that Mabon season for those of you who celebrate, and, here we go into the autumn equinox. But this is going to be happening at 2 degrees and 48 minutes, and I'll just usually say 3 degrees for that of Libra. And the interesting thing about this is the sun is at that same exact spot. So sun and moon is conjuncting each other there at 3 degrees of Libra. So both luminaries, absolutely, right there sitting with the Libra new moon. Of course, the new moon is the other luminary, of course. But if you look to your own chart, right, look to 2 to 3 degrees, that area right there, and that is the area of your chart, that is the area of your life, that house will be where you're going to be feeling this impact the most, where it'll really be affecting you on an emotional level, on a deep level. There's a lot of transformation coming down the line with this Libra new moon. So just check for your chart, and you can go to astro.com. You can use Astro Gold if you'd like to. This is a downloadable app from your phone. You can go to, Astro. I like it because it's free. No muss, no fuss. But new moons, as you guys know, are new beginnings, and it's a time for us to plant seeds. It's time for us to think about what the things are that we want to manifest and grow in our lives, because you remember in the last full moon in Pisces, we were thinking about all the things that we need to let go of. And again, I encourage you to go back and listen to that one, because in that one, I gave you the energies, the astrological energies for the rest of this month, right? So because what happened to me is I got some intuitive hits when I was looking at the astrology for the rest of the month. And I gathered up some threads, and I was like, okay, this is what people need to know. So if you haven't watched my full moon in Pisces video from last week, please do go watch it. You can scrub forward a little ways if you would like, but just get to the point where I was speaking about the energetic update energies for the rest of the month, because I was addressing the full moon, but I did talk about the rest of the month. And for this episode, I won't be talking any more about the rest of the astrological energies throughout September, because you will find those in the last video. I'll link that right now, and you'll find that link, and you should find it in the show notes also. So moving on, we're just going to cover the Libra new moon for this video, and then following this one, I have a new one I'm going to be doing for you guys about how to get through the Mars and really retrograde energies in general, right? But I wanted mainly to touch in on the Mars and Mercury, because right now we are undergoing a Mercury retrograde. I know that you guys are feeling it, but we are also headed for a Mars retrograde, which will be right around Halloween. Yay. So I'll address those things in this new video I will be releasing next week. So please look for that. You may get a surprise from me, and if I get enough comments in the comment section, I may go ahead and release that one early for you. We will see what happens. So moving on. So as you guys know, the autumn equinox is the 22nd, and this brings us to an equal point, right? This is Libra. This is Libra season. It's time for balance. It's time for fairness. It's time to harmonize things, and maybe to readjust, or figure out what where am I out of balance, right? Where are things fair? Things being fair, right? So these are the times when Libra calls us in to look at our relationships, to look at and I'm just going to tell you, in shamanism, which is part of what I do, shamanic energy medicine, that is relationship. That's literally all it is about. It's when you boil it down, right? As a spirit shaman, it's all about relationship to everything, right? So, you got to remember, this is really a time of integrating. We're really integrating everything that has happened to us so far up until, all the way up from the beginning of the year, since January 2022. We are now integrating all of what has happened this year, right? We're integrating that. So now we're being called to being slowed down, being called to go inward and backward, and that's what all of this retrograde energy is about. So yeah, there's going to be big changes, of course, coming, because we're entering also into eclipse season, and eclipse season is spring. Big, huge hellos, new things happening, new things coming out in the world, new projects, new people, new places, new faces, new tribes, maybe even. So yeah, non-negotiable changes. I've said that, I think, in the last video. So really slow down and be receptive. Listen to yourself. Listen to your senses. Listen to your inner body. Listen. There's a major disconnect. There has been over the weekend, right, of your body being disconnected from your mind. I know I myself very much experienced that. So the change of course, you better choose your course. That's what I kept saying to myself, right? And it's like, well, if there's going to be a change of course, then I better choose what that course is going to be and make my choices wise. And so we're going to be having Venus conjunct retrograde Mercury. So that's why I bring this up. And these are happening in Virgo. So these are going to bring attentions to all things Virgo, which is the mundane things in life, right? The rituals, the health, the pets, the, everyday work and life routines and rituals, and your, all that sort of stuff, Virgo rules just making do with what you can. It's a mutable sign, so that means it's adaptable. And you have Mercury there, but he's in retrograde. He's making you go back over all these things right now. He's asking you to take another look at it. And being that he's conjunct with Venus, and she's not retrograde right now, she's moving forward with the things that she loves and things that she finds beauty in. Because they're making a beautiful trine to this Pluto at 26 degrees of Capricorn, which is still retrograde. So that it is, I'll repeat that for you again. That's Venus conjunct Mercury in retrograde and Virgo, trining over to Pluto at 26 degrees of Capricorn in retrograde. So that Venus retro conjunction is at 26 degrees of Virgo. And so that's some lovely, beautiful energy for healing, for getting clarity around things that you hadn't been able to see up until now. I feel like Venus is a lot more, she has her eyes open to more things now. She can look to Pluto now and feel relief and love, where she went through a lot of hardship and suffering with him back through Christmas and around Christmas time. And around December 10th, we had some of that going on. And so I feel like this is a kind of a time of healing. This Mars, Venus, and Sun, Moon are luminaries. They're the only ones that are not retrograde. You guys. Right now, in this moment, Mars and Venus and the Sun and the Moon, which are luminaries, they don't go retrograde. They're the only ones who aren't. So really, Mars and Venus as far as planets. All right, so that means we're going to be going inward, and this transformation has been asking you to all weekend. It's coming from within. all this Plutonian transformation, right? And guys, you don't have a person, probably, I would say, venture to say there's not another astrologer out there that really understands this energy better than me, because I have my Mars and my Mercury very, very close together there. I think my Mars, it's either my Mars or my Mercury is at 26 degrees there at Capricorn. So you guys, I've got a lot involved with this one, right? So Venus is really coming through, I feel, to give us a blessing and the truth. She can see the truth now. She wasn't able to see the truth back at the beginning of the year. But now she knows. Now she sees clearly. She sees clearly, and now she's getting this information because retrograde Mercury's going, let me tell you what else you didn't know about. Because remember, Mercury is the messenger of God, so to speak, or the universe, whatever. The sun. He's the messenger of the sun. It's the guy's best friend, right? So, the change, though, that's coming is going to be very fixed. It'll be somewhat permanent, maybe. But it's going to be all about you analyzing things, what needs to be changed, what needs to be fixed. Discernment, you need to be really working on your discernment, because you got to be figuring out what are the things that are good for you in your life, that are making you feel good, that you really want to keep. What are the things that are lagging, making me slow and low, and what you need to let go, right? So what stays and what goes, your priorities. What are those, right? Are there things that you need to reprioritize? Are there things that you've been making a priority that you realize all this time, oh my God, I've been investing all this time in these projects or these priorities, and now I realize that I've got to back myself down and back away from all of this and take a look at it for what it is and go, oh crap, what do I need to drop? What I'm going to move forward with, and what I'm going to leave behind. What I'm going to take stock of out of this year, and what I'm going to go leave behind. What I want to move forward with, right? What I'm going to carry with me as I go. This goes for your tribe and examining your own relationships, right? Because we got Mercury, also that same Mercury in retrograde is opposing Neptune. And, for me, this is this opposition, really, if you use it wisely, really use it to gain all of the clarity that you possibly can. Please work on your high discernment. I cannot say this enough. If it does not align in your heart and your mind, it is not the right decision. It has to serve not only you, but the highest good of everyone. And I really think that that's the push-pull going on. And I think that this Aries Venus, not Venus, but this Aries energy of, not Aries, but I really just feel like these energies are helping you balance that out, right? Figuring out like what's right for me, what's good for me, what do I need to do? Because, yeah, we need to be asking about what's good for everybody involved too. But we have to see to our own selves first, right? Our own internal selves most of all. And even our external selves, our body, right? If we've got to pay attention, or if we're having a health problem, we need to see too. So this Libra new moon is really helping us to see a better way to do things, because that's what, Libra really wants to help you be in a state of homeostasis, right? A balance, harmony, peace, right? And so these internal processes are happening for everyone. It's the self-reflection, right? Just watch out for that Libra stuff, because just watch out for that Libra stuff, because, on the lower octave, and I'm not saying it's a lower octave, okay? So this is actually quite a beautiful part of Libra and what Libra is. It's a peacemaker, right? But it doesn't want anybody to rock the boat. And that's what I'm saying about the Aries energy, is that this Jupiter in Aries opposing the Sun and Moon in Libra, right? It's opposing this new moon energy. Don't bullshit yourself, you guys. Remember? You've heard me say that. If you have a habit in your relationships or in a way that you do them, examine it and let Jupiter in Aries bring that some balance so that you're going, okay, this is a self-improvement opportunity. And maybe how can I do things in a new way or a different way, or how can I change my approach that I can find that I'm going to have an easier time in my life here, right? Because this eclipse energy is getting ready to reverberate in. And I'd say a lot of us are starting to feel those reverberations beginning to happen. Because it's the way astrology works. It's energy. Okay, it's energy and emotion. And so yeah, Virgo always gives us the how, right? And that Pluto in Capricorn, it's transforming and transmuting, it's alchemizing. It's taking all these heavier, less than beneficial energies and turning them into light, you know? And then now I want to address real quick that we have that Mars at 18 degrees of Gemini, creating that beautiful trine to Capricorn at 19 degrees, retrograde and Cap. Yeah. Okay. So this is, to me, it feels like a green light of some sort to go ahead with something that you've been waiting to go ahead on. It's like a yes, you can finally go. You can finally get this out into the world. You can finally communicate this thing. You can finally go and build whatever this thing is. You can make your announcement, kind of that kind of thing. Just be sure that it's not during the retrograde Mercury, retrograde energy, I would say. But this is about information, right? So, you know, this is about like checklists and schedules and short-term projects and stuff. But I want you to understand that Mars, you know, in Gemini, that's because of the Gemini, it's not concerned with long-term. It's only concerned with short-term things. But the Saturn thing, Saturn is always about the long game. And it always will be. And, you know, it wants you to really understand that there are long-term things at stake here too, and to be cognizant of what you do take action on, and just be noting that. And another thing of note too is that, you know, the Saturn in Capricorn is also getting ready to have its final square with this Uranus and Taurus, and you guys know what I'm talking about, because not only have you heard me speak to it, but you have heard other people if you listen to astrology. So for this Libra new moon, plant your seeds and manifest. How can I be in more harmony? How can I be in more balance? How can I bring more of this into my life? Because there's so much polarizing energy here on this planet right now, and in the astrology. So it's in the stars too, guys. We've got to figure out how to go through it with higher discernment. I mean, we've got to remember too that there's always a path forward. That's what Libra can show us. And Virgo really can too, even if you don't get lost in the minutia, right? So, you know, you got to kind of look at whatever is on the opposing sides within yourself and even with other people, and ask, you know, is this something that is me, or is it the other person, or is this just not serving me anymore? And I wish you well. I think that you can make the most out of this Libra energy. Please note that, 8 or so hours up until that moon is going to be the best time possible. That 8 hours prior. So if it's occurring at 5:55 p.m. in your zone, like let's say, for example, if you're on the East Coast, maybe I would say anywhere from 10 o'clock that day, maybe 11, would be a really good time for you to think, meditate, focus, imagine, and being in those creational spaces of manifestation and planting your new moon seeds and your new moon wishes for the things that you would like to see around all things Libra. And that means balance and fairness and equality, and within yourself and outside the world, and how can we support and be supported, right? How can we support others and still be supported in life? And how can we find support in life and find ways to support others? And I think if you make those the primary things about the things that you're wanting to manifest for this new moon energy, I think that you'll find that the universe will support you far more in those Libran energy things than anywhere else. But I love you so, 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 so much. I want to encourage you to go to my website and check out my freebies. If you go to my website, you can check out freebies page. And I've got some things on there for you, like my free webinar, Take Back Your Bliss. It's fabulous, from detaching from everything that's going on, all the noise and everything, and get back into your heart space, get back into your happy space and your happy place, your blissful place. And it will also guide you through some things that you can do to really help you with your focus. So that it can help you with your meditations. It can help you get better with your journeys. It can help you, improve so many different things. So many different things. So beneficial. And it's all free there for you on my website. And if you'd like to sign up for my free newsletter so that you never miss an episode, I only send an email when I have a new blog post on my website, or I send an email out about a new video that I do. So if you would like to be notified, definitely hit subscribe and click the little bell so you never miss an episode, and share out to your friends, please, with those that you think would benefit from this message. It's really beneficial information for those that you love, and yourself as well. And know that I love you, and I will see you on the flip side.